Good morning, everyone. My name is Kristy Walsh, and today is December 14th, 2022, and I will be doing lesson 13. A meaningless world engenders fear. Today's idea is really another form of the preceding one, except that it is more specific as to the emotion aroused. Actually, a meaningless world is impossible. Nothing without meaning exists. However, it does not follow that you will not think you perceive something that has no meaning. On the contrary, you will be particularly likely to think you do perceive it. Recognition of meaninglessness arouses intense anxiety in all the separated ones. It represents a situation in which God and the ego challenge each other as to those meaning is to be written in the empty space that meaninglessness provides. The ego rushes in frantically to establish its own ideas there, fearful that the void may otherwise be used to demonstrate its own impotence and unreality. And on this alone it is correct. It is essential, therefore, that you learn to recognize the meaningless and accept it without fear. If you are fearful, it is certain that you will endow the world with attributes that it does not possess, and crowd it with images that do not exist. To the ego, illusions are safety devices, as they must also be to you who equate yourself with the ego. The exercises for today, which should be done about 3 or 4 times, for now more than a minute or so, at most each time, are to be practiced in a somewhat different way from the preceding ones. With eyes closed, repeat today's idea to yourself. Then open your eyes and look about you slowly, saying, "I'm looking at a meaningless world." Repeat this statement to yourself as you look about. Then close your eyes and conclude with, "A meaningless world engenders fear because I think I'm in competition with God." You may find it difficult to avoid resistance in one form or another to this concluding statement. Whatever form such resistance may take, remind yourself that you are really afraid of such a thought because of the vengeance of the enemy. You are not expected to believe this statement at this point and will probably dismiss it as preposterous. Note carefully, however, any signs of overt or covert fear which it may arouse. This is our first attempt at stating an explicit cause and effect relationship of a kind which you are very inexperienced in recognizing. Do not dwell on the concluding statement, and try not even to think of it except during the practice periods. That will suffice at present. And now I will read the commentary from this book. A meaningless world engenders fear. You do not need to fear, yet you remain very afraid. You have set up many defenses in your mind to protect yourself from this profound fear that is perhaps unrealized in your conscious mind, though you feel it all the time. It manifests as anxiety, a sense that something bad might happen, or you wake up in the middle of the night with a sense of doom. These hidden fears dwell beneath the surface of what you consider your personality. It is important not to rush through the deconstruction of some of these ideas. Your personality, who you think you are, your self-concept, is built on some fragile, shifting, and contradictory ideas. They are unloving and untrue ideas deep in your consciousness. So we must do these lessons as prescribed so that you do not become destabilized. The ego will want to rush. It will say, "Let's play all these videos together in one day, and we will get through this mind transformation program quicker than anyone else." Do not listen to this voice. Some people have become destabilized by rushing through the lessons. The lessons are not something to fear. They take you on a path to peace, a greater connection with knowledge, and all kinds of wonderful experiences. But if you do them too quickly, If you rush through them thinking you know better than the designer of these lessons, then you use the unhealed mind to shift and change the curriculum. You do not ask a student in a university classroom to take over the professor's teaching, so do not do that here. Bring a healthy sense of humility to these lessons. Do them as described, gently and kindly, and follow the directions perfectly. If you find yourself upset to such a degree that you want to quit the lessons, then reassess the way you do them. Perhaps you are pushing too hard or doing them too infrequently to get the results you expect. Perhaps you are rushing them and feel a sense of anxiety as you shift and change your consciousness too quickly. You will not feel bad if you do these lessons as described. They are designed perfectly to expose the shadows, fears, and misperceptions you have about yourself and the unconscious fears and dreads that lurk deep in your mind. Thank you very much, and I will see you guys tomorrow.